you can kill the camera there. Just if I start swinging my dick in circles or something.
Hello. Would you rather have too many eggs or too few?
Too many.
When you are out with a group of people for an evening on the town, are you likely to be suggesting different courses of action, or are you likely to want to stay in the existing course of action? So, if you're at a club, are you likely to want to leave and go to another club, or are you likely to want to stay in that club for the whole night, or wherever you go, or the movies or whatever, coffee shop?
Likely to leave.
Okay.
Open to suggestions.
Are you less patient or more patient than other people in general?
Less patient.
Okay. Um, let's say somebody's arguing a great deal over something that is a distinction between the meaning of one word and the other word and another word. So, for example, as I say, no, 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 that's not being mean. That's being constructively critical. And they're arguing back and forth about whether somebody was mean or constructively critical. What do you think is more? I mean, do you think that's a useful conversation to have? Which side do you side with? And that's it.
Mm. I don't know.
I mean, you can't.
Suppose, could you rephrase that question and just say it again?
Sure. So one person says, I don't like the way you talked to me right there because you were being mean to me. The other person says, look, I wasn't trying to be mean. I was just trying to provide constructive criticism. And the first person says, well, I didn't interpret it like that. And you had a mean tone. Now, they go back and forth for a while. First of all, do you think that's a conversation that's worth having? Is it important to determine whether or not the person was being mean, or does it not really matter?
It's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant. Okay. If you would sit there and you watch these two go back and forth, and there's no real concrete evidence for either side, which side do you side with if you had to pick a winner?
Constructive criticism.
Okay. Do you like to get better at things for the sake of getting better at things, or do you learn how to do things for the sake of accomplishing what the goal of that thing is?
Mm. Uh, I probably accomplish it because of the goal.
Okay. Are you orderly with your schedule and your belongings, like, or are you likely to leave something at home? Like you leave the house, you realize, ah, shit, I forgot my phone. Is that likely to happen or unlikely?
Likely.
Okay. Um, which of the following statements sounds better to you? The first statement is, look, I'm not fussy. Those people get upset. I'm worried about making sure they're staying happy. Or, those people take care of their own emotions. I'm worried about how I feel about this.
The second one.
Okay. Uh, let's say you are working someplace. You gotta. Somebody says, "Hey, look, I need an emergency fill in. I'm gonna pay you a large amount of money to do a reasonably short amount of work." You go, "Okay, fine." You go there and you have to be there for 8 hours, and they're very, very picky, and they say like, "No, we told you must pick up this with your left hand. Shake it exactly twice. You shook it 2.5 times." And you must place it exactly on this circle. You see how the edge is touching the circle? That's not okay. You have to do exactly right. And they explain very, very clearly what is you have to do exactly right, but they're super nitpicky about it. Is that a setting? How crazy does that setting drive you, or will you figure it out and master it and be cool with it?
Uh, I suppose if I'm obligated to do it, I would master it and get over it. it over with.
Would you rather know super clearly and can you hear me now? All right, cool. So, I don't remember what I asked that last question, but I know. In general, would you rather know clearly what you're supposed to? If you have to do a job that you don't really feel like doing, but you know you got to tough it out and get to the end, would you rather know exactly what it is you're supposed to do, and maybe be a little faster, more efficient at doing it, or would you rather have less clear instructions, but more freedom about how to get it done? Maybe it takes a little longer to do it.
More structure.
Okay. Um, is truth created or discovered?
Discovered.
If you feel like you were wrong about something, okay? If you feel like you were wrong about something, is it most likely because you've evaluated what happened and determined that, in fact, you were incorrect about something or violated one of your own principles? Or are you most likely to conclude that you were wrong about something because someone's.
What was the second part?
Are you more likely to say, like, I know I must have done something wrong because this person was really hurt by that thing? Or you're more likely to say, I know I must have done something wrong because I've evaluated the circumstances and I was incorrect in this area or didn't apply my own principles in this area or something like that.
Second part. The second one.
Second one? Okay. Um, do you like to play any sports?
Yep.
Okay. Describe the relationship that you have to the experience of playing sports. Do you find it naturally easy? Do you find yourself, talk to me about it.
Uh, yeah, sports come naturally easy to me, and
You play in high
uh,
school. You played in high school.
yeah, I played a sport every season growing up all through school, and I still watch sports and keep up with it, but not very active with it.
Do you do outdoorsy stuff like, like adventurous shit like, I don't know, mountain biking or, uh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah.
you do. Okay. Um, do you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
Extrovert.
Okay. Hmm. Well, I mean, I know what I think, you guys. Anybody else want to ask some questions? Yeah, that's what I think too, Unify. ENFJ? No, I don't think so.
What's your
ESTP. I think several people say ESTP.
So I don't know. Actually, he's kind of hard. Uh, he's my barber because he's a barber. If that sways things at all.
Maybe ISTP. I'm
I'm
going.
kind of.
The E, I'm just going on because he said he was an extrovert. I don't really. He doesn't seem like an extrovert particularly. Do you? Are you normally way more talkative than this?
Yeah, I'm really just being quiet because I was wanting to listen or I don't know, answer questions clearly.
Right. Well, I mean, it's one of those things where it's you gave clear answers, then well, I didn't say too much or didn't whatever. It's complicated socially.
Right.
ISTPs could think they're extroverted. Well, Basement Overlord's pretty extroverted for an ISTP.
Yes.
So what are you thinking, JC? How can we narrow this down as far as ESTP or ISTP?
Um,
But we all hate people.
I know possibilities. Seventh slot SE if he's ISTP. How many different ways can you talk about dogs?
One.
Okay, I go in ISTP. The thing about ISTP is they have Taylor and my dominant function, which is coming up with millions of fucking.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so
Did you?
the any is the possibility generating function. If you have that in seventh slot. So like for example, our seventh slot function, me and Taylor's is FI. It's introverted feelings. It means Taylor and I don't really understand our own feelings very well. Uh, Not at all, really. But that's just sort of everybody has their own seventh slot function. So it's a good place to identify people with because it's where you're least you think it's least important. Like you probably think, why would I need to talk about dogs in more than one way? If I'm going to talk about dogs, I probably have something to say specifically about dogs. Otherwise, well, what the fuck
Certainly.
do I need to talk about? Well, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's like all the different functions could be devalued if you want it. You could be like I tend to naturally until I sort of learn more about the shit. I was like, fuck your feelings. I don't fucking care about your feelings because or fuck my own feelings. I don't care about them. Your feeling based reasoning is horrible and I hate it so much and I think it's morally wrong and you're wicked for having feelings. So fuck off. It's like that's sort of my default setting until you get older and you go, okay, that's just me not really understanding that shit.
I just spent
Right.
like a day and a half having that conversation.
Now, let's say I value your opinion. I might feel different about your feelings, but
So,
not me.
Uh, what's Taylor in a nutshell? I'm not looking at the chat higher than like a single.
let's end
he
this
was,
video.
I think he was talking about that.
The fuck your feelings.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, yeah.